Luminosity going down to Liquid. It wasn't a surprise to us, but I would certainly say Steel maybe stuck there looking like you were at the end of that segment where you just didn't say anything, Natu, because he must be like, what are the answers? Because this is a guy we speak about who, first of all, was a good in-game leader. He was motivated. He was hungry. Yes, they went through a load of rubbish. Yes, he had to then go to Liquid and then bounced off it. He chose for this option, right? And now he's kind of sat there going, why is these pieces not working together? I don't know. Maybe they just need to make a change because this is... I just can't put my finger on like why they are even at this stage. Like this is a team that's in Pro League. This is a team that qualified for Chicago, right? Okay, through the South American qualifier, but they actually showed some signs of life. But here in Pro League, they're just getting run over.
Well, James, sometimes you just end up speechless. Just the way it is. No, but I mean, the initial part of that game, obviously, well, what felt really, really awkward to me was how slow Liquid was playing a lot of the time. We were discussing there how it felt like an eternity in the first half. I mean, the game was like 5-5, and you thought this should have been over this game by now. Right?
The whole game should have been finished.
But there were so many rounds that actually were very super narrow in terms of time, last second bomb plants, and also a lot of 2-on-2s and such. And Luminosity managed to actually hang on there for quite a while, but then Liquid decided to up the tempo and did what they do best, just pushing the plan to the bomb site and do it really well together, and Luminosity not really being able to find answers. Then when he turned it in the second half, really Luminosity's T side also rather interesting in the sense that I think the guys were actually spot on saying that there's a lot of dead air in the way that they play the T side. Like there's nothing really happening a lot of the times, and that's never good. Like you need to have situations where, right, okay, you're not necessarily like yet deciding what you do, but if there's like nothing happening and you've done like you've taken over middle, you've mollied the vent, you've taken over the vent, and nothing's really happening, that's kind of like a cue for the CTs that, okay, there'll probably be like a B play coming through. So you need to have someone play maybe door, try to make a distraction, maybe he'll get a lucky headshot, and that's going to turn everything around. That's going to be a bit of a distraction at the opposite side of the map, so that it's not so 100% certain on what you're doing. So yeah, I mean, pretty hard to say really what Luminosity needs to do, because they're lacking so many fundamental things. Like it's like they have a idea, but then how to actually execute that idea makes very little sense. We see Taco just
what the hell?
destroying his Brazilian friends. It's like, see ya.
He's like, yeah, we definitely won this. I'll just jump down and spray and see what happens. Yeah,
like
get
the crazy part is he gets like the nearest guy and the furthest guy and then the middle guy.
Yeah. And they're just all oblivious to what's going on.
Makes sense.
It was like Taco thinking, yeah, I've got this. I'm going to go for kind of a simple moment with the AK rather than the Orb and see what I can relive. Maybe something to do with Team Liquid. Next, we move on to Dust2, though. And Dust2, again, we come into this, and you have to obviously heavily favor Liquid. But what have Luminosity got? Because we saw Henny on this map before, right? And that's where we gave them a bit of wiggle room earlier in the season, or just a couple of days ago. So I ran on the first week.
Yeah.
And we thought, oh, okay, look, Luminosity, Dust2, Henny, you can do well. But even then, it still wasn't enough.
Yeah, it definitely was. I mean, they played against Rogue in day one on Dust2. We actually even ran a clip about it, as we were discussing Luminosity as to, okay, yes, they know basic things, take over Catwalk, and then you'll set yourself up for like an A push. But then once the smokes come in, once a couple of guys start running through that CT spawn slope towards the A bomb site, there's a lack of fundamental things such as, I don't know, flashbangs maybe, try to push the CTs, make them uncomfortable.
Smoke grenade?
Yeah. One or two.
Would help.
So that the CTs don't have full visibility, so that they cannot just hold angles and play off each other easily. You try to make the CTs as uncomfortable as possible, and that's a very, very crucial part of having effective attacks, something that Luminosity was lackluster with. And Rogue was able to really punish them for that. And looking at the prospect of them having to play against a Liquid, and if they do continue with the same trend, I'm going to say it's going to be a hard one for Luminosity.
Well, every game has been a hard one for Luminosity so far. It doesn't seem to be changing, if we're honest. Launders and Scrawny, I know you guys had that drawn-out game to commentate.
That was so boring, man. I can't believe we had to watch that.
I love his honesty. This is why we have him. This is why we pay him.
I love Liquid, but even Liquid are playing slow on the T side, and maybe that's what it takes to win rounds. Yep. But yeah, they're playing a lot of executes. Maybe they had like a lot of respect for them for some reason. But Luminosity won 2 pistols. They only got Was 6? They only got 6
9
rounds?
rounds.
Oh, they got 9.
I
Okay.
feel like that was one of those cases where they played like scrims against them, against Luminosity, and felt like, all right, we got to really play like super slow.
Yeah, got to be careful or something.
Yeah, it could be
expecting
that.
something.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's,
a good
I mean,
point.
Steel's good. He is a good IGL.
Yeah, that's what we were
Major
saying. man.
finalist. Like, he is good. He's really good. And as you were mentioning, he literally like left Liquid on his own accord.
Yep, said he wanted to, didn't feel up to the,
Don't know how much he
level.
likes playing with his team right now. I know that like at first he didn't want to play with Henny and Lucas because of the whole incident. He said that.
Which is understandable because they really messed him up. Idiotic decisions.
Yeah. So, did he settle? Is he on a team? Like, did he settle?
He went,
Or-
if you're going to pay me enough money, I'll at least just show up on the server. Occasionally we'll look at something, but we're not going to throw any flashbangs.
That's it. Is there certain rounds kind of like where you'd see this 5-man setup and say A main ready to execute, and then they lose a couple of players because of say like Twists playing next to the forklift, and then nobody would move. They wouldn't reset elsewhere on the map. They wouldn't do anything. They just wait, and then play what they were supposed to do with 5 players. But only having 3 instead of 5 is not going to increase your chances. It's weird to watch at times.
Well,
and I think that's why they're 5-0.
That does make perfect sense, and potentially going 6-0 here. It's going to be Dust2, guys. Let's see if Luminosity can show us anything more. Maybe a few flashbangs and smokes.
That would be nice.
I definitely meant 0-5.
Yeah, that sounds a lot worse.
Okay, let's reset that.
Yeah, we can reset that. No problem.
Let's reset things as we move into Dust2, Launders. I think this one could actually give us a bit more of an explosive gameplay. I want to see some action. That's what I want. Again, just action, because
Dust2 is a good place for it.
It's with no disrespect that I say that game was boring, because it was just a really slow pace. We didn't have these explosive big plays, and that to me screams Luminosity. Like I feel like Henny, Lucas, these guys love to run around and get headshots.
It's so true. It's so
do
true.
it. Try it.
They've got the players to do it. Yell, it's literally so explosive.
So
Where's
maybe
the explosivity?
swapping maps, maybe kind of refreshing it. It's late for them too. Shake it off.
Nekas. Yeah, these guys literally are all so crazy in the server. Like, all of them. Maybe they need to change it up a little bit.
So they decided to walk through tunnels.
Yeah.
Going to get closer to that B site, and once they get to the cusp of this, they should just burst and blast their way open. Who's on the receiving end? It's Nitro. We're going to have a rotate from middle in the form of Taco. First headshot connects, and that's going to have them reset. Because Lucas has found a little bit of footing up catwalk, and they want to play off that instead, but now they've lost it. So again, a situation, I just talked about this. You go from a 5 versus 5 to a 3 versus 5, and they're just going to stick to their guns. They're going to continue to walk out onto Cat, going to try to get themselves into the A site, but you're fighting USPs in the open. They've got cover, and you don't. So no surprise Luminosity lose this pistol. Henny's going to check his flank, but he's already being enveloped, and he's going to be swiftly dealt with. May put up a fight. Caged beasts can be dangerous, but not as though he's going to get out.
Yeah, so that could have worked out if Lucas got far enough ahead, because they put the B pressure on. They knew that no one was on Cat. They decided, all right, we'll have him lead. And if he gets around the corner, then it's actually quite hard to fight from long. And if that pushed a player back into pit, his teammates could have come up. They could have tried to go for some kind of Cat plant with post plant situation, but they didn't get that far, unfortunately, because the frags didn't go their way. Now we've got a scouter here in Nafly at middle, and he spots Steel, does a little bit of damage, but apart from that, not a whole lot. One thing that has been talked about with Dust2 these days is that it's going to be all about long control. At least that's how it seems so far. And now we've got 4 players stationed outside long. Twist has obviously tried to tell them you are not supposed to come here, but they are dedicated and waiting, 1 flash in hand. And it looks like it's time to lead.
Will they use that flash now, or are they going to wait for it to get towards cross? Twist could line up bodies. The first man's there. He only does get 1, pulls the trigger. Yell was intending to clear that corner, so it is still going to plan. Except they've lost their leader. Elige walking up along the wall, falls to the FAMAS. I mean, that's a duel normally Elige should win, but Yell with a swift headshot drops a second rifle. Taco pushing up into middle, using that MP5 to attack the back line of Luminosity, and now they're just going to reset. Retreat with 1 rifle to their name. Not going to find Taco at all. He is gone.
We're actually cleared out for what could be a mid to B, but Taco has come back. 1 kill goes the way of Luminosity, and they have the flank. Nitro, however, finds his.
Then dies to Yell again.
2v1. Taco's low.
Good FAMAS work and the sidearm. Luminosity going to pick up the conversion round away from Liquid. 4K for Yell after he gets his paws on the FAMAS.
Yeah, and they did have to do like quite a few things to earn their win, getting out for long control. I was actually surprised. I thought that once a leash stopped them from coming up, that was the end of the round. Getting back to car, the rotates coming out, but it definitely wasn't.
But again, I think a difference here between this and Cash is like a change-up. You know, they hit a bit of a brick wall on long. They all just trickle out mid. They throw a wrench into the works of Liquid's setup, and you can see how Liquid just tried to kind of, you know, get back into it. They kind of, bit of a calamity. Force buy up here from the side of Liquid as well. Lots of bodies piling themselves just beneath the catwalk. That is where Luminosity will tread their path in order to plant this bomb. Scout from Nitro, good for a headshot against Henny. Steel's been tagged up in the process here as well, but the retake is not going to be made easy, and Liquid know it. So they will retreat, they will save. I like the pace being set from Luminosity in that round. They charged up Cat. They took it by storm. They forced their way into the bomb site, and they did so at such a rapid pace that Liquid couldn't hold on. Next round, of course, you could still anticipate that scout to do something. But how much, the biggest question. We'll have a bit of a challenge towards mid. Any scoped weapons up for LG? No, sir. It's a MAC-10 last added to the collection. And it's going to be a really rapid B round by the looks of it. I mean, makes absolute sense. You're just going to try to charge forward and overwhelm the defenders, which is Taco first up close with a deagle. Could do some serious damage. He's actually lining up so much. Him and Nitro combine for an utter hold. They walk into the brick wall. 5 up from Team Liquid. And tell me, where does that come from?
You know, I really don't have that info, Connor.
Was it because you were blowing your nose?
It might be, but I was blowing my nose while being astonished at the same time. You want to do analysis for that one too?
Yeah, sure. The analysis is, okay, it's really hard to hold B actually as a single player, but the one thing is if you can put a smoke down and put that deagle up close, all you need is somebody to run straight into you. And that deagle has such penetration ability and high damage that if you line them up through that narrow choke point, it's no surprise that Taco gets a couple kills. And then a perfectly timed flashbang is what gets him his hands on the AK. From that point forward, everybody runs up lower, and they just completely wrapped up onto Luminosity.
I like it. That definitely looked very satisfying for Liquid. A round that they were saving as well. But here's some damage dealt. Cat presence is big. Twist gets taken out, and he's the man in the back with more HP. Neckens makes his way around the fire at the cost of, 30 to 40 health. And this bomb is still stationed outside long. Nobody here has pushed quite yet. But the rotations are coming in slightly. There is a lot of presence on both sides of the bomb. Chance here that the half actually gets the kill, but no, Lucas, by the skin of his teeth, is able to run his way up Cat, now scot-free.
Still a player back in T-spawn, though. Nitro probably won't expect this, especially seeing as he did just move past, but now, even though he drops the bomb carrier, he does leave Taco alone. 3 Brazilians alive, but not all of them on the same team. Taco knows that bomb needs to be retrieved, didn't realize that Nekkes could have come back from the site, anticipates that Henny's going to walk up here and just has his brain completely scattered. That is Luminosity with a lead.
Wow.
Back and forth affair.
That was crazy. And the rotations were so weird at one point that, after the bomb gets dropped, you think that's the ultimate flank. Now the round is in the favor of Liquid, but as we can see, obviously someone's already coming around from T-spawn that worked their way up from B, and therefore it's not over. So the momentum's stolen right back. Luminosity keep the op and spawn with the bomb. With the man Henny, who got the final kill of the last round. And it is a really passive default. Not working on anything quite yet, just clearing out the mid doors. Very standard timing here as they now finally start to get onto cat control, which is the least kind of played place for CTs most of the time. It's a little bit unsafe, it's a little bit scary. There's not a lot of great spots to sand. Very specialized location.
Good grenade deep down, though. That's going to chunk away Steel's HP. And even though there's nobody occupying cat, you sure as hell bet that they're on the bomb site. 3 of them there, Launders.
That's a bunch of them. That's a bunch.
A bushel. A clumping.
A crown.
And what could be a problem, at least for LG. They will try to blast past. Nekis actually gets down into the CT spawn. This may have gone unnoticed. Taco immediately drawn off the B site. Nitro rapidly setting up to the bottom of mid. Will slow down the entirety of this push because he gets the bomb carrier. They do quickly retrieve it and get back onto their push. It will be planted most certainly. No one else here to stop it. And Nekis activates from spawn, thus clearing the last man on A and pushing all of Liquid towards the tons. It's being watched by Yell. Elijah's boosted over the smoke. I don't think he has an angle.
Wow. Even with that direct boost, can't actually see the back boxes. Pretty much meant to be the reason you would want to pull that off. And Luminosity, after coming up with a crafty execute, are able to go ahead and pull the mid to be off. Looked really good.
Looked really explosive. I think Nekis being there is a pretty key piece. I'm surprised that doesn't get spotted, right? So much of a kerfuffle there. I feel like it's because he jumps down through smoke as Team Liquid are still moving around. We saw them pushing into catwalk themselves. We saw a couple falling off to go long, that wrap around towards middle. So it's like just as Liquid are dismantling their setup, that's when Nikas slips in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, slippery snake. Real nice like. So somehow Liquid will have to try to make this work. M4 in hand, Famas on another. And they've all split up. One push here from on cat. Very common to have a lot of aggression on cat from a CT side. If you get that boost, you can spot into lower, you can peek top mid if there's some action that happens with your teammate in double doors. Be very mobile in there. Liege is there playing reactively, but gets caught off guard by Steel, who picks a good time to slide out. Lucas also playing from a very safe position. That is a very few amount of pixels that Taco had to hit to nail him in the head, and he found him.
Half his reposition, but doesn't have any support whatsoever. Not with that cross being smoked, and he's so concerned with dodging flashbangs that he doesn't anticipate Yell's push. Bomb a little bit slower to cross, but it will eventually get there. Molly ensures that no one rocks up from cat, and I think Liquid are going to save again.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, they can recycle these guns, try one more time. They actually have enough money next round to buy on the rest of their teammates. So, quietly, Luminosity walk away with another round and a bunch of players up. They're having a great T-side so far, Connor.
I think they're having a much more explosive T-side. We're not seeing them kind of get stale in certain positions. There have been moments where they have to wait on catwalk because of a smoke or the utility from Liquid. But that's acceptable. Other than that, we've had some rapid rounds. Throwing themselves down middle, going into those B charges as well. Sure, it costs them the one-time Taco, lines them up. But I think they're playing into their strengths this time, as opposed to what we saw in Cash.
So what happens next? Oh, we got a bit of a replay. We can see how Taco ended up doing that. Oh, it was his first shot too. One try, Tony.
One shot's all it takes. The golden gun. Fast flash based off spawn. Consistent aspect of the T side on Dust2. Twist swapping guns, just completely mauled by Nekis. It is traded right back by Elige, however. So damage control contained here from Liquid, keeping it 4v4.
Now that long control has been attained, Luminosity can do a number of things here. They can sit, fall back. They can have a player drop in a pit as the rest of them go cat. They can work up slowly. I think the key is if they're going to alert all the CTs by throwing nades, that they've got to be ready to explode it at a moment's notice. And they do have a smoker 3 to throw for the cross and get the bomb down. They can finally try to do that, but I like how you walk up and then throw it as late as possible. But on their cross, take almost 150 damage. Oh my god. Another great nade as well. Bomb will not even go down. Everyone's getting destroyed.
Yeah, Luminosity looked like they had something secured. I'm assuming they themselves thought it was in the bag, but Team Liquid had other ideas. So 2 lower, 2 upper. Double peek, and there you have it, folks. 4 alive for Liquid. In a round that looked like Luminosity could have walked away with.
Yeah, definitely. I think the nades were amazing there from Liquid because it seemed like they didn't even see anybody. Some damage was dealt there, apparently, on the jump up, but I guess Luminosity not having any cap presence cost them. They did do a good job of walking up early. Smoke is missed across mid. Hopefully it doesn't cost Taco any damage. We'll see. Nope, he gets off scot-free. And Steel here, losing a duel with Nafly at mid. Neck has wanted to run out middle, it seemed, to go for maybe a fast B-split. I'm not entirely sure. 2-3 setup at the moment. So Liege fighting behind a fire. And beyond that, there's some good damage dealt, like Steel's extremely low. But after they canceled that flash, I've decided to wait longer. There's no one for Liquid making a move to give them a kill. Henny gets one important kill to the back of the site. Taco pops his head up probably for just 1 second. Looks like he was trying to cross back to K-Sharp and got taken out. Elige does damage to the door. Yell answers back.
Wow, so constant. Yell doing a good job, a single-headed effort. Oh boy. Steel. If he had whiffed that one, because a single shot would have done it. Nitro's going to fixate inwards. 30 seconds. No one has this bomb. What an awkward round we're currently dealing with. Nitro very wary of both sides of mid because he knows that these Ts must be split. But he also knows eventually they're going to show up. Not from his position, however. Henny can nab the bomb. Nitro definitely just made sound. It was heard, most certainly. You see the Opera coming back for some. Wait a second, they've won the round. Are you kidding?
They had no time to go and get the bomb.
I mean, they had plenty of time to get the bomb.
Yeah, they had plenty of time to go and get it. Yeah, they just didn't think
just
about
took
how
way
much
too
time they
long.
had remaining. Yeah, that's it. Wow. That's one way to go.
I mean, I wasn't looking at the clock.
Ran back through spawn,
Oh
yeah.
my god. I'm looking at the players because they're playing it so nonchalantly that I'm thinking, oh, time's not a problem.
Yeah, me too.
I look up at the clock and boom, it's 5 seconds left.
Yeah, that's some terrible stuff right there.
Bamboozling. All right, that happened. And look at the result here, Launders. Money's not there, so Luminosity, they're actually going to have to possibly let this one slide.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if they knew where, like, if they didn't know where, the whole time I was trying to figure out if they knew where Nitro was, and if not, how they're going to approach it, but, like, they take the total amount of time left that they have, and then they figure out at what point do they need the bomb, and then how much time they have to get to what site, if it's going to be A, if it's going to be 7 seconds, or if it's going to be B, like 9 seconds or whatever. Then they figure out what we can do in between then, and then, you know, it's simple. But they didn't have that concept down. A couple of 1-deeks, however, just to, like, steal it back. All of a sudden, the cap presence is huge for Luminosity, and Elige, he could be able to go to town here. Great headshots, and the accidental jump. I don't know what mouse he's using, but it cleared the mouse wheel, got a little bit jammed up there. Might actually cost Luminosity the round, to be honest. Or at Liquid, excuse me.
It may.
Now it's a 1v2 once again.
Unless Taco just easily deals with the remaining Luminosity players. Remember, they are incredibly tagged up. 29 health combined, but they do have that op. Woo! Not going to make a difference for Henny. Taco then covers down, and there's going to be no cover here for Yell. He just needs to try and use these pieces on the bomb site to find safety. The bomb itself now halfway tick. Taco not in a total rush. I mean, he knows that it's a limited option for Yell. He's got to be behind one of these boxes.
Yeah,
no way
really
he
well.
retreats any further. So, sure enough, a 5th for Liquid, but a costly one considering that LG just had Deegs.
Yeah, that was nice. That was a great bait of the op shot out from Taco on Henny. And then yeah, he nailed Yell down to the perfect play. So running wide to make sure he can't get caught off on any wide peek, and then pushing Yell behind the box to take a fight on his terms. Exactly what he wanted to go, what he wanted to happen, what he wanted to have happen, and it's basically optimal. It's not anything special, but it's optimal, which is really cool. So Liquid just barely take that off, surviving the couple of serious 1D entries up Cat. I could see why Luminosity wants to turn their attention back to this part of the map. Long has not been super successful for them. They had a couple of rounds there, but Liquid seemed to be great about holding Cat and then defending versus Long. So now they can go ahead and try to take Cat. And they had an interesting mid to B setup that it looks like they might be trying to do once again.
Nice shot from Yell. Creeps out and takes down Nitro, who was posted on watching mid. Again, we're going to watch this catwalk attempt from Luminosity. Running through their own smokes. Elige towards Goose. Doesn't have to worry about Long because Twists is there and now coming back to help, but he's lost his teammate. Great trade from Steel. A crucial one at that, because look how exposed Twists is after the fact. And then Yell activates from the top of mid. I mean, that is out of nowhere. Taco blindsided, and Nafly's about to walk into his death.
Great round from Yell. Those were a couple of clean kills, man. That one where he's dueling with Nitro, I would have assumed Nitro hits him, 10 times out of 10. And he clears that angle perfectly, lets the op shot go off. That was nice. Very well done. And suddenly, because of that previous round, that eco that did so much damage, Liquid are going to buy, but it's not going to be a lot. Just a scout and an ump. And Luminosity want long control. Definitely a great round to do it. Late flash as well. Twist is unfazed by it, however. Gets that initial 1D. Pretty good stuff. But no teammates to help him out.
Trying to draw these players into the car. That's when Nafly comes into the equation, but he's burned out into the open instead, and he can't nail an initial shot. Not going to get many chances. Nitro does win a duel towards mid. That could actually make difficulties here for Luminosity as they try to work down from cross, but they are just going to double back because Steel has snuck his way into CT spawn. How does he come into this equation?
Oh, who knows at this moment? Who's just under them? Steel?
Yeah.
In CT spawn?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow. They've got him boxed in, too.
Henny the same. It's going to be like separate unfolding 1v1s. It's really going to come down to the duels, and Steel now catching Nitro. Elige, single point of health. Taco's shadow seen. Henny knows that he can just dip out because the last man's on Long. Taco chases on, trying to prevent Henny from actually getting to the site, but in the meantime, he stops, waits, turns around, and succeeds in securing a 7th for LG.
Yeah, they got a very sticky. They got it out of a very sticky situation, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
I think I got glue. My jaw is made of glue at the moment.
Are you sucking on glue sticks again, Launders?
No.
I told you to stop that.
No, I quit. I kicked the habit. Promise. Switch to markers.
Yeah, they do smell better.
Yeah.
That's how you get through a late night ESL broadcast. You just gotta huff some markers. That's a joke, please.
Yeah, don't try that at home. Connor's a professional.
Quick clearing of the corner. Taco just wanted to maybe maintain some map control. The catwalk push with just the pistols shouldn't net them much, and a frag grenade to soften it all up. I feel like it's really Yell making a big difference in these gun rounds.
He's really come alive.
And that's nice to see at times.
No, definitely. Yeah, I mean, and the other games that we've seen with the offing, he really wasn't turning up. He was, I think I talked him up, but then he was not hitting his op shots. He was doing some weird stuff, but it feels like Dust2 is a comfort pick for him, and he is feeling very at home.
Charge straight down Suicide, getting into mid. Nafly ready, but not prepared for that rapid of a peek, I do not think. Taco alone. And everybody just completely turns tail. So 4 versus 4, and they're going to hit that catwalk. And in doing so, it's a great call because Liquid just came off of the A site and started to move towards spawn. But oh no, the bomb launders.
That was the bomb at spawn going back to B. What were they going to do with it?
I don't know.
Oh, Nitro gets that 1 kill. What a trade from Henny. They've been able to win these rounds somehow in the past, so I don't know if they'll be able to pull this one out, but this is a very interesting round. I don't have any idea how the bomb ends up where it ends up. And yeah, Twist comes through with the kill. Doesn't know. There's a small advantage. Oh, wow. I was going to say for Henny, but then he gets caught jumping and still immediately gets into his stance, hits the clean headshot in the 1v1. I
feel like the individual level of Luminosity is really coming to life in this map.
For sure.
Like, where were these swift, rapid headshots on Cash?
I'm not sure. I couldn't tell you.
Slow start.
But, yeah. But, what was the play there? They had so many people going up Cat. I guess maybe if they were going to jump in a spawn and then wrap to B with the bomb going late, but that's why you typically want to have buddy system with a bomb. Like, sending it by itself is such a risk. I guess he was in spawn, so that's not something he expected. A good interception at the very least. Nice recoil control from Twist. The kill might have been had in vain.
It's crazy. I mean, they actually wallbanged with an auto sniper and then picked the one player who was crossing to B. They had a cohort of 2 Luminosity players running straight towards tunnels, and they didn't commit to the B hit. They still decided to double it back. I mean, Luminosity, I think they could have played this in a more simple fashion. They get elaborate, but it still works out. There you go. Double digits for LG on the T side. Only 5 for Liquid. What a turning of affairs since that opening match on Cash.
Absolutely. I figure Liquid are like strong favorites on Dust2, let alone any map. And this would be a shame for a team to lose to Luminosity at the moment, who are probably out of playoff contention, even though they might have a slight chance at this point. They literally win all of their games, and yet, like, literally, Liquid are, Liquid. I mean, at one point had my favorite Dust2 within another lineup, but I'm shocked that they're able to do this. We're looking at standings right now?
Yeah, just checking. Like you were talking about playoff contention and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I forgot, it's only 6 teams in the league, so only half get to go to the LAN finals. The road to Odense. 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 I'm working on it. We did say that we'd have it by the end of the season.
I said it once and I knew I'd never be able to say it again, and then I tried, and I think like I sound like I swallowed my tongue or something. I'm not going to do that again.
Looks like the Betway odds still have Luminosity as the underdogs, but maybe this is why. Steel with a couple of swift headshots. Oh wait, no, Steel's not on Liquid anymore.
That's right, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
Henny's going to try and contest the B site. That's all that really remains here for Liquid. They've got 3 pairs of feet on it, 6 in total. That's 30 toes unless someone's a freak. Headshot for Henny. Oh my god, what?
I have no idea. Like, literally every single kill, it's 5v3, and Liquid somehow find every single kill. There's at least Lucas. He's got a kit. He's in full man mode. He has the 1 frag, a kit, a little bit of health remaining. Reloaded the USP. He could try for this one more time. How could his teammates not do it?
Yes, please.
He's making it look easy.
Please, Lucas.
Taco.
Will
he get out red?
Taco's scared. Oh, but he still gets the headshot. Down to the 1v1. A pistol round that Liquid had no business winning whatsoever. I mean, we need to see this in a replay because it happened so fast.
He actually pulled up the fake plant.
Oh!
That was actually really good because there was only 3 people in the site. So if he had his hands busy that whole time, that's why Luminosity tried to go in, because they're like, all right, 2 players here can shoot and that's it. Let's go and rush the site. And they got jebaited.
Goodbye, goodbye. Flashbang. Gonna blind up a couple players with the frags and the bullets. It's all they need. That is Liquid with a 7th. But it comes at a cost. A 2nd kill now thanks to Steel's wrap around through tons. He even gets himself an AK, Mohan.
That's a big win. You definitely love to see that. Ooh, Naf sticker looks good. I like his signature. It's very filled out.
Yes, thick.
It was thick, yeah. 2 C's all caps, double spaced.
Yeah, you took it right out of my mouth. Money out there yet for Luminosity, so let's get through the technicalities. Let's watch Liquid close the gap. What's the play? Luminosity heavy A. Bomb patiently in spawn. I'm not going to be surprised if, like we have seen with Ghost, like we have seen with Luminosity, or excuse me, MIBR, and like what we may now see with Liquid, that switching over to the T side could just be the change they needed.
Oh, absolutely. But no, it could definitely get ugly there. What a spray. Okay, that's a clipper. No, Taco comes in at the end.
Oh, what?
What the heck? How did it even have line of sight there? I don't even know.
That's some magic.
We need a replay.
Some hocus pocus on long A. Beautiful stuff from Nafly. Look how low that crosshair gets.
Oh, look at that.
What a thief.
Wow. It's just a kill goblin.
A curmudgeon.
That's right. Snuck in there like, I'll have some ADR.
Deep frag from Steel. A little bit of chip damage. He's actually turned away, and when he whips his head back round, they're already in here. Penny's able to actually get the first one trying to boost round. Steel does now pummel back with the 5.56. Clears car. Beautiful shot versus Taco.
Wow, they really just gave up, huh?
Done. What a turnaround. Immediately into the gun rounds and immediately back into the favor of Luminosity. Nafly on the anti-eco sure look good, but I don't anticipate much from this scout.
That's surprising. Really back and forth at the moment. That was a solid hold. I mean, I don't know. Liquid couldn't get out at all. They just couldn't get in front of that smoke. One player jumping up, one player going to the side. Taco sitting at the car, and then they just get stuck. And Steel's there from K-Sharp, just like aim mapping, basically, picking his targets, taking his time, not moving very much. Wasn't really pushed to his limits, honestly. But Liquid put another buy in here. And they earned it after a couple of clean anti-ecos. What is a curmudgeon?
I don't know. I'll define it.
Okay. So
A curmudgeon, I think, is some kind of like, I see it as like a, kind of like the same as a...
like some kind of gross muffin.
No, a curmudgeon is probably just...
It's like a rotten muffin.
Some
expired.
I picture just some like dirty old man.
Like expired
with a hood on.
Muffin. Hood on, yeah. Standing in an alleyway.
Curmudgeon. First I gotta figure out how to spell it. Oh. Urban Dictionary is not the place to go.
Okay. It could be that could be the only definition.
It's a crusty, tempered old man. That's it, crusty.
Oh, wow, crusty.
Crusty, ill-tempered old man.
But is that the Urban Dictionary?
No, that's what Tom Eric told us. Merriam-Webster definition.
Oh, okay, good. Wow.
Ugh,
I'm surprised
crusty.
they actually use crusty in the
that should,
Merriam-Webster definition.
Crusty should never be the adjective to use for human beings.
Krusty Krab pizza is the pizza for you and me.
Money, 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 money. That's what's being lost right now, because we got a couple deaths. Lucas caught in the open, tries to spray down Twists, but Twists too quick. He snaps their necks backwards and establishes a 4v2. Steel would like to get into the equation, but he sees nothing than smoke.
I can seriously not tell who's going to win this game.
I don't know either.
Because literally, like, Luminosity looked good on one round, and then Liquid looked good on the next round. And then Luminosity looked good on that round, and then right after, Liquid looked good on that round. You know?
It's back and forth.
It's back and forth. I mean, there's a lot less flubs now. The team's actually looking good on each round, but I can't tell who looks gooder, Connor.
Who looks gooder?
Who's the goodest?
Only time will tell, so it gives everyone a reason to stay tuned.
That's true. Only one way to find out. Apparently, crusty was underlined in the definition for curmudgeon in the Merriam-Webster definition.
It's emphasized.
I feel like whoever wrote that had a sense of humor.
Extra crusty. What do you prefer, curmudgeon
or pizza?
Troglodyte?
Troglodyte? Isn't that an animal?
No.
Something like a water animal?
I believe it.
Or something you catch in Pokemon?
See, I think you think that because I'm pretty sure it's something that lives in a cave.
Ah, yes. It's like the spike. Is that called?
Why is this computer in Danish?
Some type of maybe because we're in
Denmark,
Connor. That's because we're in Daneland. Henny, op shot, leg. Get something. He's gonna fall back. It's not gonna be easy. Allegiance right here, right behind him, but Lucas His twin brother, relevant data, saves his life. And Long has now been forfeited, but it's not Liquid who even get the kill.
They gave it up really fast, I think.
Yeah.
They just go right into the cat play instead.
Yeah, if you have it's good as long as cat pressure isn't being put at the same time, which is something that T's will do for that reason. And then the CTs are forced to pick which one they want to hold. You can't give up both, because then you're saving.
Who's gonna walk into Henny's scope?
And he's got the crazy eyes right now, looking everywhere.
Yeah.
Ooh, where's this next frag?
Got eyes in different directions.
Like a curmudgeon on the porch.
Nice kill from Yelp. Skewers Nitro to the bottom of mid. Then they do try to get upwards as fast as possible. They're hot on the heels of the cat play. Turn around. Neck is gonna find them both as Lucas comes into this one. Taco comes walking out from Long alone.
Wow, we're definitely witnessing a slight lead at this moment.
Yeah, now, I mean, we talked about, like, I don't know who's going to win because it's so back and forth. But now I think Luminosity we got to give them an edge.
Yeah, they definitely have a slight edge. Liquid actually have like one more buy. And because they built up the bank, they can maybe think about a rebuy even if they lose. I don't know. Did you find what troglodyte was?
Yeah, it's something that lives near caves.
Anything? If I move now to go live by a cave?
Yeah, it's a member of various peoples, antiquitous peoples, who lived or were reputed to live chiefly in caves.
Okay. So
Cave
literally
dwellers.
any type of... if you go to move by a cave, you could be a troglodyte.
Yeah,
So like a troll could be a troglodyte.
definitely troglodytes.
Okay. You hear that, 4chan?
Now you know what to call yourselves. Again, this cat presence early from Liquid. I'm surprised they got so blindsided last round when they just came running up behind them. Like, nobody really turned around until it was way too late.
Yep.
And, like, what was the defensive play? Either fight or just run through smoke to die on the other side.
Let's see if it gets any more fishy. Wow, nice pickup. Ooh, and he's standing his ground too. Very clean second kill, and he's back for more.
A third could be on the menu.
Oh yeah, he heard that shot too, so he's going to be well prepared.
I like that he doesn't repeak it. That's a development in Henny. You know, he knows there's a man down there, but knows better than to go charging forward. We'll have to now rip around. Taco has created an opening in the B site. It is him and Nafly alone.
Maybe not the USP. Maybe a teammate flash?
Still waiting. Goes back. Good shot. See you later, Naf. Taco still up. Got the cover of the car, but not going to save you from that many bullets. This is 13-9.
This could be a big pickup.
I was expecting split 2-0s tonight, and this might be our second split series.
Yeah, of all of Pro League, yeah? Or...
No.
No?
No.
I feel like we had a lot of 2-0s.
Listen, we haven't watched anything from the B stream.
Today
so
was... Yeah, that's true.
Probably lots of 1s over there.
Yeah, it was
'cause,
really
like,
just thinking about
United's
myself.
1-1 in Cloud9's.
Oh, yeah, I'm
got all
crazy.
sorts of crazy
No, I have
stuff.
no idea what I'm talking about, guys.
That's okay.
Yeah. Thank God we have a desk. Just have them clear it up.
That's why they're called experts.
I'll stick to what's in front of me. But so far, good map from Kenny. Just picking all the right duels. Liquid back on a save. Very fishy territory. Rotate into CT though, leaving Cat wide open. The wrap could prove to be effective. We know how quickly these afterplants can get out of hand. Run boost is up. There's not even going to be a CT to hear or see this. But now with all these pairs of footsteps, certainly they'll call for something. That could be a decent nade that goes up and over. Twist lands right at his feet. And now the CTs will scramble. Going through CT, spawn as a CT is not the best way to go for a retake, but they know that there's so much cat presence it might be unsafe to try that as well.
Yeah, even if these are just pistols, you've got to be careful when you present your head on the silver platter. That is the ramp walk-up, but they've managed it, and they do so unscathed. Just now lining up all the bodies. They cut it down to Taco. He's trying to hold off with a bomb, and that's 2 beautiful headshots, but he needed 5.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it was a big ass, but that's literally what he needed. Otherwise, there was no chance. And Luminosity now knocking on the correct door. I was going to say the winning door, but that would be a contest. That'd be a 50-50. It wouldn't have any way to involve agency in picking the correct door. So I don't know where to go with that analogy.
I'm looking up synonyms for curmudgeon.
Okay.
A bellyacher.
A bellyacher.
Yeah, a fault finder.
That sounds like a word you'd use, bellyacher. I like that.
I've heard that before. A grumbler or a growler.
Oh, a grouch?
Or
What
a
about grouch?
sorehead.
A sorehead. That is really funny.
Not being such a sorehead and just die. Like that.
Well timed.
Next shot, astray. Henny. Gonna have a little bit of a teammate here to bail him out. Yell also down. So that's both the ops removed for Luminosity.
Why'd you say it like that? You're like, remove.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sounded like such a bellyacher.
I'm just working on my inflections.
Uh-huh.
And Luminosity working on closing out this game. 6-point lead. What a turning of the affairs here, Launders.
Yeah.
It's kind of came out of nowhere. I feel like we did have that back and forth match. It was tied here and there. There was chances for Liquid to kind of get a lead. And in the most recent of rounds, it's just been Luminosity. I feel like we went from 9-9 to 15-9 in what seems like 5 seconds.
Yeah, it's definitely very different. I mean, the aggression is there. The individual efforts are there, just as you pointed it out. Liquid are just falling off. I really thought, like, no matter how bad it gets, they're going to come back. But at this point, Luminosity looks so confident, looks so strong, looks so well versed.
And this
on
is
the map.
something we got into each time we'd have a Luminosity game upcoming, right? It's that double op setup between Yell and Henny. That's something we tried to tout. It's one of the strengths we wanted to allude to. And it seems like they finally found a way to make that work, most notably on a CT side, because it was the offense over and over that we looked to for them to find rounds. And here they've gone ahead and done it on the defense of all places. It's not only been the oppers, everybody coming to life here for Luminosity, but I think it has played a crucial key piece to the success in the second half. It's not over yet, though. Bomb will be planted in a 10-man situation.
Good amount of cat control, and it is the eco, as Naf gets a little bit of chip damage at him. Sitting in suicide, 2 players coming up cat, and it looks like we might have another round. This would be a very unlikely retake, but 1 kill falls the way of Liquid. Bomb's taken away. At this point, they will have to turn tail and run. Thought there for a second that would be it.
So Liquid and Luminosity to continue. This is 5 rounds straight now for Liquid. That's what they're going to have to do. How much do you believe?
How much do I believe in Liquid? I don't know. I really think that Luminosity will just take this at this point. They're looking a lot better on their CT side. They had a lot of good rounds to talk about. Liquid are starting to fluff some rounds themselves.
Yep.
And individually, I really like that Henny is here opping at mid and finding a way to get more than 1 kill. That's just not an easy task these days.
Nope.
To get teams to make mistakes and give you those frags. That's kind of the
Fast
opper
fight.
that posts up.
Right out long. Henny into the pit.
Oh, that's
he needs
not-
help. He needs cover.
Oh,
he
yeah.
does have 2 teammates further back, but Naf not going to hyperextend here. This is going to put Henny in such a sketchy situation. I'd be scared. And he should be too.
Wow.
Wow, he gets himself the second. Give us a third. You know there's one just close, but Taco with a double of his own, and Lucas drops 2 bodies. And immediately, just like that, Liquid find themselves outnumbered, outgunned, and possibly giving up a win to Luminosity. It would be their first of the ESL season, and most certainly is. Lucas grabs his brother's op and puts the nail in the coffin. LG win Dust2.
They get a map. They're 1-5 now, but they did it versus Liquid, and man, what a way to end it. Henny is an actual god.
Yeah, I mean, I did not anticipate that happening.
I wouldn't have been mad at him for not getting a kill in that situation. That was the worst. He had to opt from the low ground with no support. 2 guys waiting for him. His support smoked off at car. He had nothing going for him.
Well, it seemed like Nafly was going to have a really good job of just kind of honing in on those players that were coming to support. Like, he put Henny in a position to need help.
Yeah.
Just like we need help from the boys on the desk. James and Natu, welcome back.
Very smooth,
Thank you.
Stormy. Very smooth. Now, we were all wrong. we threw Luminosity under the bus, but Liquid don't seem to be able to recover when it comes to actually playing Dust2. We saw a similar situation where, obviously, at New York, they're 11-4 up, and they still couldn't close it out. I got to say, fair play to Luminosity. It was a good game. Still wasn't perfect, but you got to say Liquid really dropped the ball.
I mean, you got to say hope dies last when you're Luminosity. I mean, obviously it's been it's been horrible for them for the most part of the season so far. But I mean, if Liquid is willing to give that many free kills, basically, like so many duels that they just were willing to take individually without anyone really being there to back up or try and refrag, yeah, obviously, you know, that means that Luminosity doesn't even really have to execute properly. I don't think they'd really have to a single round.
Yeah, which I'm fine with. Like, I think if they have the really good defaults and everything, it's really on Liquid to force them to have to do that, right? So I think obviously you got to have executes to look like a real team, but I think if you can win your defaults, just keep doing that.
And you mentioned it, James, right? We did kind of write them off, but I think we have reason to. We just come off of a game of Cash where they seem kind of lost on executes and not piecing anything together. Obviously 0-4 at the beginning of tonight. And so this was the first time, again, we mentioned it a little bit towards the end, where that double op started to work on the CT side. The first time in of these 6 games that we've watched that really ever happened. So good on Luminosity. This was finally an example as to what they could look like when things actually click.
I think I have a theory. I think Luminosity needs to lose the pistol rounds.
Very true, yeah.
That's where it's at.
Lose pistols.
They lost both
win the
pistols?
I think they did, didn't they?
Wow.
I'm pretty sure
they lost the second one, that's for sure. I remember the Taco won the 1v1.
I think our brains are pretty mushy at this point, though, so we could be wrong, but I'm fairly sure.
You have to remember as well, though, that like this is a Luminosity that did beat G2 on Dust2 back in, was it Montreal or Valencia? One of the two that they did it in. So they do have it in their arsenal to be able to be a potential winning team on this. I just guess against Team Liquid, you expect so much more. And okay, yes, Liquid, maybe Dust2 is not the biggest map or the best map for them, but you would have expected them to just be able to out-aim them on this basis.
Yeah, you can never forget that Luminosity have raw skill. They have individual plays. So every once in a while, that's bound to actually come out of them, right? Nobody's writing them off all the time, but you just have to always give their opponents edges if they're only going to be this successful every once in a while. And it's not like we're seeing developments from them in terms of the utility play or the executes. It's just someone's going to hit shots every 1 out of 6 games, and this was it versus Liquid on Dust2.
And it also shows us that how much of Counter-Strike is just a momentum-based game. They went from losing 16-5 to Rogue on Dust2 to they're just beating down Liquid on it. So anything can happen in the world of online Counter-Strike. But we are now going to take a look at the full standings as we've gone through the 3rd day of the North American Pro League. So as you can see, the scores are on the board. MIB are looking better than we'd seen them so far this season, right? Some convincing wins against Cloud9. United, they battled against Ghost, but it was a 1-for-1 trade. And then we end up in a similar situation for Liquid versus Luminosity. I don't think anyone would have ever predicted in the first place.
No, definitely not. I mean, I think, you know, if you look at today's games, obviously United versus Ghost, we expected Ghost to sweep that 2-0, but United actually showcased that, you know, they have some fire in them, obviously, and they played well and prevented the choke from happening. It was obviously in the cards at one point in time, but yeah, good for them.
Yeah, well, a good day all around. And moving on to tomorrow's games after we look at the final standings. And you can see Renegades, they're sitting pretty at the top, right? This is a new Renegades, a new lease of life. Ghost just behind them. But then we go MIBR, starting to play a bit of catch-up. Rogue's in there as well. United making their way up. Liquid, okay, you went 1-for-1, but you're still kind of hanging in there. And the team I'm most looking forward to seeing out of all of this is going to be Ints when we get to see them tomorrow, because they get to play a game the same as Envy.
It's wild to me that the team who made the most significant roster changes is the team that's currently leading this season.
Yeah, they were the biggest changes, right? 2 players throughout it, not just one going in, and Renegades looking good. Now, tomorrow's games, we do get to start off with Envy taking on Team Liquid. First game we get to see of this Envy roster, and to be fair, if Liquid can't make things, well, they make mistakes like we just saw then on Dust2, then I'm sure MV do have a chance, right? It's not going to be a whitewash. Then we go into a little bit more of a Brazilian matchup, Ints with the famous KNG. Let's see if he can control himself like he's failed to do in the past. Yeah, and see if he can actually battle against MIBR. And then we're going to have Rogue versus Cloud9. Now, looking at what we've seen from Rogue so far, that Cloud9 game could be actually quite interesting because it's Cloud9 who may be on the back foot there.
Yeah, I think you could argue that last match is going to be possibly the closest of the 3.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see this Envy core because these players, I think, do have some promise. And although Liquid still have a huge edge, I don't think it's going to be a complete walkover. And I'm sure it's a confidence boost when you see that Envy, Liquid, they are mortal. They do make mistakes and they have off games.
Yeah, like any team, right? It's Counter-Strike. That's the kind of stuff that happens. But this is just the start of our road to Odense. And Jesus, we're already on the first week ending. This has been fast. This has been crazy. We have seen games that we didn't predict. We've seen games that have been very one-sided. But I think overall, guys, this has been a good start to a promising whole season here.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. It's been back and forth. A lot of crazy Counter-Strike, especially the last one here. Obviously, we expected that Liquid would be winning, those kind of things. Ghost has been a positive surprise. Renegade's been playing great. So yeah, it's getting more and more spicy as we go forward.
Oh yes, well that is us done and dusted as we move on throughout this day. Don't forget to come back tomorrow, plenty more North American action to be had here at the Pro League, as well as the European that just start a little bit ahead of us. They caused us to be delayed today after some crazy games. But have a good evening, afternoon or morning wherever you are in the world, guys, and we will see you tomorrow.
Incendiary out.